Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Aquarius energy, and like usual on this channel, we are going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Aquarius energy, kind of when we have hope and faith and belief in our dreams, and but the bottom row is going to be our more worldly nature or shadowy nature, and that can be when we kind of want to stay in our comfort zone or we don't, So what I'm saying is basically some people could be battling within themselves. Do I move forward in life differently? Do I have hope and faith and belief in my dreams? Or should I stay where I'm at and, do what I do? But the other way that we're going to read this also is that there is people in the world that have gone through some things in their life, and they've definitely come into some new insight, understanding, and they just can't live their life the way they were living it before. And they are moving forward, and they have come into some truth, clarity, insight, and they're moving forward in life differently, and they're leaving some old ways of being behind and maybe distancing themselves from some people in their life. And then there's going to be some people in the world who definitely aren't going to do love. Don't want to be vulnerable. They could get hurt doing that. Being high vibe requires that you be more balanced within yourself, more self-disciplined within yourself, to be just and fair in relationships, to act with character and integrity, and some people have no interest in doing that. And then shadowy Aquarius energy could be people who are either very egotistical and self-centered, think it should be all about them, or they could really be caught up in the world and it's all about the money and the status and the image, and that's what really drives them, motivates them, and then maybe to get in relationships with people for those purposes and not for love. So it's just to realize that everybody is motivated and inspired by different things. I think the people that have healed from past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs are more likely to choose love. And the people who haven't healed from some past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs are going to make their life more about the world and being defensive emotionally. So the reason for the top row reading is the Lover's card. We have the Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Pisces Knight of Cups. When we've either been dealing with people or had a lot of inner conflict within ourselves, it could be, why do I have all this inner conflict in myself? I'm going to love myself. I need to have better boundaries within myself about, the Five of Wands is Leo energy. What is it in the world that causes me so much inner conflict? Is it about what other people are doing? Do I feel like I need to compete? Have I been dealing with people who are competitive or have a lot of inner conflict or kind of treat me like I'm an opponent to defeat in a relationship? Am I dealing with a lot of people who argue and fight and are really competitive? At what point are we going to say from the 5 to the 9 it's taking back a Four of Wands? This isn't the foundation or the workplace or the relationship that I want to be in anymore. And if I could have been, the Four of Wands is Aries energy, if I previously had been more in my ego or about myself, and all it's done is cause a lot of conflict and fighting, and, because I could have been in that energy out of selfishness or fear or whatever, could have got me in relationships with other people. The whole thing is, am I willing to detach from that foundation to love myself and to have better boundaries? I can be the master of my own mind and my own thoughts. We have, we free willingly choose which thoughts we choose to sit in every day, which emotions we choose to sit in every day. It's not to be in denial about thoughts and emotions we have, but do we have to sit and treat like a baby certain thoughts and emotions, like, oh my gosh, I gotta feed you and burp you and grow you into adulthood when you're not good for me? I can choose to acknowledge I have inner conflict. I can choose to acknowledge that I might get in my ego at times. I might get in relationships where I feel manipulated, where I'm manipulating, whatever. And if I don't want to live my life that way, the only person I can change is me. So if we're dealing with people who seem to have a lot of inner conflict, be manipulative, um, competitive, prideful, egotistical, self centered, whatever, it kind of might have to do with how people harness their Aquarius energy. Some people we could get in relationships with and we could love them, or they could just be our family members, our siblings, or our parents or whatever. And maybe those people are really competitive in the world, and maybe it's all about looking like a shining star in the world and, getting in a relationship with love. No, it's all about competing in the world. It's about looking like a shining star in the world. And it could be people who have inner conflict about having better boundaries to make it about love. And some people settled for the illusion. And sometimes when we have people in our life who settled for the illusion, where it's not really love, it's because of the status, the image, the money, or I got to keep up with the Joneses, or what would people say if I lived my authentic life, and what would they say if I went and got in the career field I really loved? What would they say if I did the things I really would enjoy doing in my life from a place of love, things that really motivate and inspire me? We can have people in our life who don't want us to move forward and live our authentic life and do all those things and listen to our intuition and have hope and faith and belief and heal, because they haven't done those things. And then we can have a lot of inner conflict dealing with those people we love, because in their Nine of Wands energy, they try to stop us from listening to our intuition and believing in ourselves and believing in our dreams. No, no, no. You shouldn't do that. You get hurt out there. You should stay right here. Don't get out of your ego. Don't get out of your fear. Don't get out of your insecurity. I never did. You shouldn't either. At what point in time are we going to stand up for ourselves and say, this foundation is not aligned with my truth? And my intuition is telling me I need to distance myself from some of these people, because some of those people could harness shadowy Leo, shadowy Sagittarius energy, where it's kind of like playing the wounded warrior. And we could get hurt out there. We've been hurt by relationships before and it's caused us inner conflict. Let's just give up on our dreams and stay right here. Let's not believe in love anymore. Which is too bad, because we've all been in relationships that didn't work out, that, the way we wanted, and we felt wounded. It's just that some people gave up on their dreams. The whole thing is, we were drawn and attracted to getting into relationships with certain people because there was lessons we needed to learn from those people. We get in relationships with people to help us get clear about what our truth is, what our dreams are. We can, how your life and what you thought would be the dream life and relationship when you were 15 was different than when you were 18, and different when you were 21, and different when you were 25. And there's some people that didn't listen to quit giving up listening to their intuition. I don't dare listen to my intuition anymore. There's people I'd like to be in a relationship with, but I've been wounded before. Well, the truth sets us free. And the High Priestess is about higher understanding. It's kind of like if you were to imagine you talking to yourself, if you were 80 years old and you were to talk to yourself now, what advice would you give yourself? Or if you knew what you knew now, or imagine the things that you know when you're 80, what would you tell like a granddaughter or a grandson? Wouldn't you tell them have hope and faith and belief in your dreams? Sometimes we get in relationships with people who have a lot of inner conflict. Some people have a lot of inner conflict about love. They get hurt. I think everybody would be open to love and giving and receiving love and being warm and giving, except that they've been wounded. And then those people kind of quit offering them self-love to heal, because the healing card in tarot is represented by the Four of Swords, which is about being in heartbreak and meditating on the truth. Why did that relationship end in heartbreak? And we just have to see the truth, because the truth sets us free. Are they immature? Are they prideful? Are they egotistical? Are they more materialistically driven? Are they kind of bossy and controlling in a relationship? And if they can't manipulate us and be bossy and controlling with us, they don't want to be in a relationship with us, or we don't want to be in a relationship with them anymore. We could wish that everybody would be loving and more balanced within themselves and have hope and faith and belief and love, but some people don't, and some people just have a lot of growing up and maturing to do. I think if everybody was at a place to give and receive love, they would. And if they're not, they're not. And we don't have to take it personally. Some people haven't learned to love themselves. They can't get out of their own inner conflict. We have this dualistic nature. We have the things of the world we want, and our defensive nature, and our me nature. And we do have our more loving, intuitive nature. And some people just can't get out of fighting within themselves about, oh my gosh, some days I want to do that, some days I want to do this, then I want to do that, and then I want to do this, and then I don't want to do that, and I do want to do this. And they just can't pick a path. They just have a lot of inner conflict within themselves. It's to wish them peace. I wish you peace. I hope you figure it out. If you are immature and indulgent, I hope you grow up one day. If you are prideful and egotistical, I hope you grow up one day. If you're emotionally manipulative and self-centered, I hope you grow up one day. You're going to have a rough life living your life like that. And high vibe energy is about learning to have better boundaries within ourselves. I do have a shadow nature. It's a part of all of us. We all would like what we want when we want it. But if we're going to work together with other people, we need to have good boundaries within ourselves to our more me nature. And some people lack having good boundaries within themselves. The Nine of Wands is Sagittarius energy, which is about higher learning and education. We've got to wrap our brain around this game of life, that if we want to come together with others in a relationship, we have to have some good boundaries to our shadowy nature. It can't be all about you. And we shouldn't treat our partner like an opponent we have to defeat. That means you have some growing up to do. Why would you treat someone who you love as like someone you have to defeat, unless you have a lot of inner conflict within yourself and don't know your own worth and value and aren't feeling very self-empowered? And the way to feel powerful is to try to feel like you have power and control over someone else and like you defeated them. And, it's a false sense of empowerment, because in order to feel that way, you have to have an opponent. Well, then who wants to be in a relationship with someone like that, And some people just don't know what they want. So right underneath the Five of Wands in the shadowy nature is the Four of Pentacles. Capricorn energy. Some people are very worldly focused, ego focused, image focused. And that could be because, they haven't learned to love themselves. And they derive their sense of worth and value based on how successful they are in the world. And then for some people, enough is never enough. I got to keep up with all these people. And it is where they, again, looking to something outside of them in a way for their sense of worth and value for some. And then the Four of Pentacles can also talk about people who have a lot of inner conflict about opening up, letting go of their more egoic or emotionally defensive way of being to move forward in life, to have some hope and faith and love. Some people are so afraid of being hurt you know, and also another way this could be, in order to move forward in life, we have to let go of some old ways of being. Just like we did from age 15 to 18 to 21 to 25, we have to give up some of those more immature ways of being, more selfish or greedy ways of being. And we need to be willing to get out of our ego to just even admit that I have some lessons to learn in life. And some people have a real problem with that. And some of those people are happy living their life just like that. And they want other people to be in a relationship with them. But they don't ever want to get out of their ego to think that they even need to have better boundaries within themselves. Underneath the 9 of Wands is the 3 of Wands, which is a difference of the 6 of Wands. Some people are motivated and inspired to grow and mature themselves, to let go of some of their more immature ways of being, their more fearful, insecure, self-limiting belief nature. And some people, shadow energy can be, I just want to be in denial of it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to keep moving forward in my ego. I'm not going to take creative, inspired action about my own inner conflict, about letting go of an old way of living my life, to be willing to grow and mature myself and have some hope and faith and belief in what can be. I just want to do things the way I've always done it, and I want to keep moving forward in my emotionally defensive, worldly view of life, self-centered ways of life, indulgent ways of life, all about me way of life, or just living life the way I've always lived it. And I just need to find someone who's willing to live life like that with me. Well, we've all got, if we could pick, well, I want it all my way and I want you to do it my way. I don't want to have to change. I don't want to have to grow and mature myself. I don't want to have to deal with any of my inner issues. Shadowy energy can be people who live in illusion. Live in fantasy land about what it means to be in a relationship. For some people, with the 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles being Capricorn energy, and with the 5 of Wands being Leo energy, some people, and the reason for the reading is the Magician card, some people, and then we have, the Empress and the Leo card again. There's some people that could have things of the world that makes them look very successful and abundant. The 3 of Wands is kind of like, look, my dreams are going to come into reality. I've put in this work and effort. Capricorn energy, people don't have to be dealing with the Capricorn. It's just the people could be dealing with harness a more shadowy Capricorn energy, which is it's all about the world. It's about putting work and effort to build a legacy in the world. But it's not from love. It's not from looking at life from a higher perspective and stepping outside of societal norms to bring needed change to the world. It's working with the world, to have the things of the world, so I might get a plaque on the wall one day based on all the money I accumulated or something. But some people, what they think they have in the world, that they think they can use to manipulate people to be in a relationship with them, could be they're good looking or think they're good looking, or they're charming, or they have social clout or whatever. Anyway, they think their dreams are going to come into reality. And so then they could think, if I seem to have these things of the world, that it looks like I have these things of the world, I don't think I have to learn to have good boundaries within myself. I don't think I have to do love. I don't think I have to be just and fair. I don't think maybe I have to act with character and integrity. I have these things. There's going to be people who want to be in a relationship with me. And if you aren't willing to indulge me and be in a relationship with me because of those things I have, well, then maybe, we're just motivated and inspired by different things. I'm happy with the things of the world. The Empress can talk about where people do have things that make them seem very abundant. And it could be money, it could be looks, whatever. And the strength card of Leo energy, again, can be, I might shine bright in the world. I might look, like Aquarius energy again, like I'm a shining star in the world. I've created, for some though, it's all in their own head, because if any of you are dealing with a narcissist, they believe their own illusions about themselves. And some people are really shadowy. And shadowy Three of Wands, if people harness shadowy Aries energy, and they don't have to be an Aries sun sign, they can be all about themselves. I'm all about me. It's all about my wants, my needs, my lusts, my greed. I think people should want to be in a relationship with me. I don't think I have to put in... I turn my back to harnessing high vibe Empress energy emotionally. I don't want to put in the work and effort in my Taurus energy and my Libra energy to get balance within myself. I don't want to align with love. I think my dreams can come into reality working with the world. I'm defensive to listening to my intuition. I'm defensive to putting in work and effort to get out of my more worldly view of life. I am defensive. I turn my back on harnessing high vibe Leo energy. I don't want to be authentically myself in the world. Then I can let my ego run my life. My ego, my more emotionally defensive nature, keeps me safe from being hurt by love. I don't want to do love. I don't want to be emotionally vulnerable. I have been manipulated by my worldly nature to think that I can just work with the world and my dreams will come into reality. And some of those people have turned their back on loving, warm, authentic people who wanted to manifest a dream into reality with them. And, those people probably tried to love and encourage them to get out of their fear and their insecurity or their more worldly, prideful, or self-centered ways of being, to deal with their inner conflict and realize that, this probably isn't going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. You need to learn to have better boundaries within yourself. And eventually those people said, you know what? The only person I can change is me. All I can do is offer love and encouragement to people. But if they're got it in their head that, nope, I'm doing it the right way, I'm sure this will work out for me. It's like, okay, I wish you peace, but I'm not going to be in a workplace or a relationship or a marriage with you. And if you're just a sibling or an adult child or a parent or a friend of mine, I might keep my distance from you because you lack good boundaries, and it is difficult to deal with people who are all about themselves and are kind of selfish and greedy and seem to like to fight or manipulate. And the high vibe people listened to their intuition that said, keep investing in love. And, we've all got to win. We've all got this dualistic nature within us. We've all got the spiritual warfare of which aspect of myself am I going to align with? And, it takes time. We've all got to learn our lessons. If you're dealing with some younger people, just like when you were growing up, they might have to learn the hard way. And, if it's people that are more in your own age group, yeah, some people kind of aren't willing to let go of indulging in all the other people in the world. The Five of Wands can kind of be the competition. And it's like, you know what? If you want to go indulge in the competition and I'm ready to move forward in a more emotionally mature, just and fair relationship where people believe in love, then apparently we're not on the same page and we're driven and motivated by different things. And I have a dream I want to bring into reality and I see my dream can't come into reality with you. Because it's kind of like from the Five of Wands down to the Three of Wands, or from the Three of Wands to the Two of Wands, they're unwilling to let go of that old dream. Sometimes there's some people here that they don't realize they were manipulated. There could have been someone, they could have been in loving relationships, but they could have been people who, unbeknownst to the people they were in a relationship with, because they presented themselves as harnessing high vibe Aquarius energy. But the truth is, they could have harnessed a more worldly focused Aquarius energy, more motivated and inspired by the world, or they're still in their ego about some people in the world who held back from them, and it kind of got them in their ego. Well, why didn't those people want to have their dream come into reality with me? And sometimes when we haven't healed, we'll keep chasing after people who could remind us of people in our past, like subconsciously, or just chasing down people who seem to hold back from us, reject us, aren't just and fair and loving. It's kind of like, I am bound and determined to make you love me. I am bound and determined for you to acknowledge my worth and value. And sometimes we can reject loving people in our life because that can be our comfort zone, being used to being in relationships with people who act like that. And to be in relationships with people who treat us with love, it's like, that's weird. I'm not used to being in relationships with people who treat me the way I treat them. And we all like to stay in our comfort zone. So I think the hardest lesson in life is to learn to love yourself. And so then we have these lessons to learn, and we get in relationships with people to learn to love ourselves. And some people have learned that lesson, and they've left behind some people who maybe still haven't learned that lesson, and they're going to go get in relationships and be drawn and attracted to some people who hold back from them, who might kick up their competitive energy, get them in their ego, make them feel like they're not valued or loved or something, and still trying to chase down people like that. So we all get, when we're manipulated by our ego and we haven't learned to love ourselves and to trust more and listening to our intuition and learning to have good boundaries within ourselves, we're going to be manipulated by some people in the world who are happy that we haven't learned to love ourselves, that are happy we don't listen to our intuition, who are happy we don't have good boundaries. For some, it's good for their ego and their image. It's like, look, they're ignoring those people and they're still fighting for me and wanting to be in a relationship with me. And I kind of ignore them and hold back from them. I tried to get them to chase me. I tried to cause them inner conflict. I tried to get them in their ego. Why? Because I'm in my ego. And I have my own fears and insecurities. And I don't love and believe in myself. And I don't believe I can manifest my dreams. Or maybe it makes some people, it's just friends and family who it gives them a sense of feeling powerful. Like, you should focus on us. If you go live your dreams and stand up for yourself, we'll hold back from you and we'll be in our ego if you go really live your authentic life, and we won't like that. And some people are codependent on those people for their sense of emotional well-being or sense of stability. And so then, just like we can get manipulated by our own fears, our own insecurities, our own things of the world that we want without doing the work to love ourselves, then we have these people that we get in relationship with who are happy that we live our life that way. And until it causes us so much inner conflict that we say, this is tough being in a relationship with these people. Don't I deserve to be in a more just and fair and balanced, loving relationship? Well, then we start to believe in the Leo energy that Maybe I do deserve love, and maybe I do deserve to be in a more just and fair relationship, and maybe I should stand up for myself. And if these people are people who love me, they'd want me to live my authentic life, to go get in the career field I really love, to be with the people I really love. Maybe these people really don't have my best interest at heart. Maybe because if I don't really love and believe in myself, then they can indulge in a relationship with me. It works for them, but it's not working for me. Some people want to hold on to us because if we were to stay in a relationship with them, and if we're a loving, nurturing person, well, then, yeah, I don't want you to go to the competition. I want you to stay here in a relationship with me, but I'm kind of selfish or greedy or bossy or controlling or manipulative. But I don't want you to love and believe in yourself and go get in a relationship with someone like yourself. I want my dreams to come into reality, and it's really more about me. And sadly, I don't choose love and being just and fair in a relationship, but I'm hoping you don't love and believe in yourself enough, and you're in your ego about standing up to me and having good boundaries and believing and loving in yourself to believe that you can go manifest a different job or a different friend or a different romantic relationship. And as long as you don't love and believe in yourself, this works for me. I'm happy. I'm getting what I want. Because it's really all about me. And some of you have already went through a relationship like that. Some people are in the midst of it right now. And some of those people are starting to stand up for themselves and listen to their intuition, to invest in believing in themselves and their dreams instead of being manipulated. When we're manipulated by our own fear, our own insecurity, our own codependency, not believing that we can manifest our dreams, don't have hope and faith, that's when other negative energy comes in. People who are happier like that. Perfect. You're my kind of guy or gal. Let's get married. Let's date. And we can stay in it until we see the truth that this isn't aligned with my truth. I don't think this is just and fair. And that's when we let go of that foundation because we have a dream. And we decide to hold back from the people in our life who seem to be trying to stop us and maybe cause a lot of conflict and fighting to stop us from doing the work within ourselves to heal. Don't do that. Focus on me. I'm going to purposely do things. I'm going to hold back from you. You'll wonder why I'm holding back from you. I'll do things. I might do things to get you in your pride and your ego and your competitive nature so you feel wounded. So you keep focusing on me and do not love and believe in yourself. Because I'm not willing to do that. This is how I want to live life. I do not want to deal with my own inner conflict. I do not want to have better boundaries to my own shadowy nature. I like the scales of justice being tipped in my favor. I like it when you indulge me in my more immature, selfish, greedy, prideful, lazy, self-centered, manipulative ways of being. I like that. And some people have had enough, and they're listening to their intuition, that though they might love those people and would have liked to have a new beginning with those people, it's like, I have done everything I can, and I can feel proud of myself that I know I have a clear conscience. I know I did everything I can. And you don't, next time you meet someone, the first time, they act immature, impulsive, competitive, prideful, stubborn, egotistical. It's like, oh yeah, I've been here before. Yeah. People who are loving and kind and generous and want to be in just and fair relationships don't act like that. And if for some reason something kind of triggered them to maybe be a little short, right away they would apologize for it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have acted that way. I mean, we do have to not be completely blunt and harsh, but basically, it's kind of like when you were younger and you dated people and we were all immature and impulsive and reckless. Well, it was one thing to date people back then when they were immature and reckless, and then you got tired of it and you wish they would have grown up. And then you date the next people and you're like, yeah, I did 2, 3 years in that, or 7, whatever. Yeah, if this person shows me they're kind of immature and reckless, yeah, see ya. Been there, done that. Not doing it anymore. I've been around that track. If you don't have better boundaries within yourself and a little more balanced and mature than that, I have no interest in repeating that past pattern. And I think the high vibe people are going to move forward, investing in love within themselves, going and making offers to other people in the world who they think are aligned with love, who've worked through the tens, can talk about completing a cycle of where you're no longer focused on the regrets of the past. It's like, I went through all the thoughts that were involved with that and I saw the truth. I've dealt with it. I saw how I needed to grow up and mature and why I might have stayed in that relationship. I've seen or tried to see as much as I could to understand why other people weren't willing to work with me cooperatively in a relationship, and I'm no longer in regrets about the past. The Emperor energy, is about I've learned all these lessons in life. I've let my heart run my life and run my life off into the ditch. I've let my mind and my fear or whatever run my life off into the ditch. I'm now making good decisions, taking my heart and my mind and my creative, inspired, passionate, intuitive nature and my 3D world. And when I make decisions now, I have to make decisions that are best for like all aspects of me. My heart doesn't have priority in my life. My mind doesn't have rule of my life. The things of the world don't have control of my life. I am making good decisions in my life. And in high vibe Capricorn, I have freed myself from being out of balance to being balanced. Shadowy Capricorn is represented by the devil. I have freed myself from indulging poor behavior in myself and poor behavior in others and being in my own shadow nature. I have offered myself love and compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes I've made. And I've offered love and compassion and forgiveness to the people in my life who might have made me sad because they didn't work together with me in a way that I wish they would have. We're all human beings trying to learn these lessons. Some people have learned the lessons, some people haven't. Some people never learn the lessons, but, were they more controlled by their pride or their ego or their fear or their addictions or their ego, whatever. They were where they were at. I don't take it personally. I think if they could have been more open to love, they would have been more open to love. But some people just didn't win the battle and it was what it was. And I've offered love to the situation to let it go. And now I'm balanced within myself and I've called judgment on it. It's over. And I'm ready to look to the future and put in work and effort to be happy. And some of these people who are getting out of their own situations, just like some of you, are going to want to move forward with you and people like you in the world because they're kind of tired of having all this inner conflict and holding back from believing in themselves and kind of realizing I have to have good boundaries to my more immature, indulgent nature, or I might run my life off into ditch. I need to listen to my intuition and love myself and make decisions that are loving and respectful and encouraging and supportive of me and have hope and faith and belief that if I keep investing in this way in my life and within my own mind, I have no choice but to manifest that because I'm not taking action and investing in things going in the other direction. And I'm not indulging other people in their poor behavior. Everybody's got to do the work. And if they don't do the work, then I wish you peace and you can repeat an old cycle or keep being in a relationship where you're defensive. You know, some people could be defensive in a relationship right now because the people they're in a relationship with might want them to move forward and make a decision to like work together. Like, let's put behind our regrets of the past. Let's balance things out. Let's put in work and effort. And some people are like, my intuition is telling me that the reason you're doing that now is because I have done this work within myself. And now that like your tactics aren't working, I think if my intuition is telling me that I think you're emotionally trying to manipulate me, that you're the same person that you are, shadowy Empress Leo energy, you're all about the ego or the image or the pride or the ego or being indulged, and that's why you want me to keep moving forward with you in a relationship that really isn't love. Some of those people, because some of the people are trying to hold on to someone because they think if they hold on to that person, their dreams will come into reality and they'll be in this abundant type relationship, either materialistically or because the person that they're with is very loving and nurturing. And they want that, but they don't want to be that type of person themselves. So it's kind of creating the illusion that I don't want you to pick up your investment in me and really go work with the people in the world who you could be happy with. So I'm going to try to give birth to where I was maybe more selfish and greedy and bossy and controlling. I'm going to try to give birth to seeming like I'm more of a loving, nurturing person. And I'm hoping you're defensive to listening to your intuition that I'm trying to manipulate you. And there could be, you know, another difference, another way this could be read is that loving people have good boundaries and they offer people love and resources to help them work through their own mental confusion about working through their regrets of the past so that they can be a good leader in their own life and be more balanced within themselves. People who are kind of in shadow, you know, again, we have free will. How are we going to act in a relationship? Are we going to be open and truthful and just and fair and offer people love and encouragement and resources to become all they can be? Shadowy people turn their back on being just and fair and authentic and loving because they're pretty sure they can manipulate people to get what they want. And some of the people right now who have held back from some people in the past, because sometimes some people are defensive to moving forward with us because they don't want to move forward like that. Well, I don't want to be just and fair in a relationship. I want it to be more about me. I don't want to be more authentic and loving and vulnerable in a relationship. I think I can manipulate you. I know. I'm going to be defensive to you and turn my back to you. And then, because I don't think you'll love and believe in yourself, I'm sitting here waiting. Right now, you're holding back from me and having good boundaries, but kind of in their ego, I kind of think you're going to maybe come and make an offer to me to be in a relationship with me again and put an end to being sad. So it's kind of the difference of how people act in a relationship. People who are loving in a relationship are loving. People who are motivated to be loving and just and fair and truthful and put in work and effort into a relationship put in work and effort into a relationship. Other people try to manipulate people to get what they want. And those people, in their not seeing things clearly or hoping their manipulation tactic worked, are waiting for some people who are holding back from them to come get in a relationship with them. And the loving people are offering people love, and it's like, I'm moving forward with or without you. Same way to the shadowy people. If you want to be in your pride and ego or whatever, be in your pride and ego. I'm moving forward. And I'm going to go work with the people in the world who want to work with me, who in an emotionally balanced manner, who harness high vibe Aries energy, who make good decisions in their life. And when they're in relationships with people, they make decisions, good decisions, when those decisions affect everyone. But these other people harness a more shadowy Aquarius Aries energy, where they think they're the boss and it should be all about them. And that's the way they like it. For some, those people had been in relationships with loving people, but they don't want to live their life like that. And there could be people, some of them specifically could be waiting for a Capricorn, but they're waiting for someone who is more aligned with their worldly nature, who could also kind of be in a relationship with someone that is based on love, and they could know that that person really isn't that kind of person either. And they know they're kind of on the same page. You know, we're both more about money and materialism and status and image instead of love. You're just creating an illusion with the person you're in a relationship with. My people already left. And they're waiting for someone they know who is kind of holding back from them, who's gotten themselves kind of in a relationship where it's really something they're not on the same page with. And they're waiting for that person to kind of give up the fight. You know you're not on the same page as them. Come get in a relationship with me. And some of those people could be battling within themselves. Part of them doesn't want to go back and get in a relationship with this person. And part of the problem could be that, you know, if they're both kind of people who operate in shadowy energy, neither one of them really like to put in work and effort into a relationship. They could be more materialistically focused. They might know that the other person kind of likes to be more, and they both could like to be indulged in the relationship, kind of be the privileged, pampered person in the relationship. And if they think they can get the person that they can juggle the person they're in a relationship with, they're going to keep moving forward with the person they think they can juggle. And maybe backstab this person. Kind of like, I like to be more indulged and you weren't willing to indulge me and you held back for me and you wanted it to be more about you being indulged. Well, I'm going to backstab you because you hurt me and I'm going to go juggle this person. I've decided I'm going to work with the people who want to do love, and I'll try to do my best to work with them, even though I'm kind of defensive to them because I don't really want to do love either. But it'll make me happy to backstab you. And some of the people that are in shadowy energy waiting for high vibe people or low vibe people to come towards them, they might not have any luck with those people. But they might have someone new who wants to hold on to them. But sometimes some people, you know, they're in their ego. And it's kind of like they never want the person who wants to be in a relationship with them at the moment. Well, those other people who moved on, that bugs me. So they might have somebody who'd like to be in a relationship with them right now. But some people, you know, they just can't live in the moment. And, you know, high vibe energy is kind of about going with the flow. And they just can't. I'm still in my ego about those people who didn't stay in a relationship with me. Anyway, let's skip that. Let's just jump to what is coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Aquarius energy that they might not see coming. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands. And that came out because of the King of Pentacles and the Lover's card. So what I think that means is emotionally, the high vibe people are going to keep listening to their intuition. Why? For one, they've done the work within themselves to grow and mature themselves from these past life experiences. And they've kind of freed themselves from their ego and their past pain and heartbreak about the relationships in their past that didn't work out. And they've decided to invest in loving themselves. And they're inspired to be in more emotionally mature, loving relationships. And what they might not see coming is there could be people watching them do this work within themselves. And then, you got to listen to your intuition. As you move forward, there might be people from your past that didn't like the situation they got themselves in. And I think because we live in a dualistic world, I think you could have some people who are a more shadowy energy approach you from your past and more high vibe people from your past approach you. Or it could be as you move forward, you'll meet those people. And it's just to listen to your intuition. People might present themselves as being very stable and grounded and mature, like they've learned lessons from life and they don't want to be focused on the past or the regrets of the past. And you're just the new person they want to juggle, or they just want to come back and juggle you, or the person they had been in wouldn't let them juggle them, so you're the next person they're looking at. And they present themselves as being more stable and grounded and mature than they are. But they could just be looking at you as someone who will help them get over their regrets of the past. And they've got to do that work within themselves, And then some people might look at you like, oh my gosh, if I were to be in a relationship with you, like everything would be wonderful, wouldn't it? I want to work with you. You look like you're victorious and successful, or loving and nurturing, or look like you're going to be successful. I'd look like a boss if I was in a relationship with you. And so it's to listen to your intuition about who basically hasn't healed from the past, who's just decided to just keep juggling, and not put in work and effort to align with their own loving, intuitive nature. It's like, I just want to work with the loving people. Can I be with you and you be a loving person? But I'm not really that type of person. But it's good for my ego and in my image, and it makes me look like a shining star. And then I think you'll have other people who see you doing this work, and they see that you have freed yourself from the past, that you've learned lessons in life, that you're not in regrets about the past, that you're maintaining balance, that you're putting in work and effort to look to the future and be happy. And those people want to work with you because they see you have grown and matured yourself, either people from your past or people that you meet as you go forward. And I think this is saying that needless, as you go forward, you will have worked through all the thoughts in your head in the Ten of Swords about those relationships that didn't work out in the past. And you will be more in control of your own life and feeling more balanced within yourself. And you could be calling judgment on people who harness more Virgo, Pisces energy and Aquarius energy, where it's kind of like, if I focus on the world, won't I be happy? If I make my life about indulgence, won't I be happy? Isn't it to work with other people who seem to be happy and I just work with them hoping they don't see that I haven't done any inner healing and it's probably going to blow up in their face? Because you want to be in relationships with people who harness high vibe Aquarius, Virgo, and Pisces, who've really done the work within themselves to heal from the past so that they align with their more loving, intuitive nature, to be open to giving and receiving love. Okay, let's go down here to the bottom row. What about the people who harness a more worldly focused or shadowy Aquarius energy? What do they not see coming? The Temperance card in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, not showing itself, And it came out because of the Five of Swords. Well, for one, the Temperance card can be about where people are kind of balancing out their strong emotions. And I think some of these people have a lot of mental conflict. And they could have a lot of mental conflict about the Five of Swords is Aquarius energy, looking at life from a higher perspective. They could be really out of balance into being aligned with the world, indulgence, self-centeredness, fear, ego, whatever, all the things that cause them mental conflict. And the Five of Swords can also be people who want to win at all costs, and they don't really care who gets hurt. And they're kind of not looking to anything to help them get more balanced. And they don't want people to know that they're probably really not making good decisions in their life. And if they get in relationships with people, they don't want to make decisions taking those people into account either. And another thing they might not see coming, sometimes people who are kind of manipulative or full of themselves, again, thinking, I can manipulate people, I can do these things, I'll get them in their ego, I'll get them in their competitive nature, I'll get them defensive, and I bet they'll want to come back and get in a relationship with me. Well, the people have balanced out their emotions about these people, and they're done. Those people could have been waiting, kind of being patient in the Nine of Wands. Are these people ever going to get out of their ego and grow up? Because the Nine of Wands and the Temperance card are Sagittarius energy. And the people who were in Sagittarius energy, that for a long time in a relationship with them had been patient, they're done. Because the divine, in their intuition, told them this is over. This person has shown you that they have a lot of mental conflict about getting out of their ego or letting go of their self-centered nature, their me nature, their lust or greedy nature. And the high vibe people are done. And maybe the high vibe people, their decisions aren't being affected by this person anymore. The other thing this could be saying is there could be some people who want to be in a relationship with them. It's like, you're my kind of person. I have mental conflict too. I want to look like a shining star. I want to look like I'm working with a happy, loving family. Oh, do you have mental conflict and holding back? Still focused on the past, haven't healed, haven't learned to love and believe in yourself? Perfect. You're my kind of guy or gal. I want to win at all costs. And if you have those things of the world that I want, yeah, I'm willing to work with you. I'm going to create the illusion that you're my dream come true in the Nine of Cups. I want to have a new beginning with you and create an illusion that we're moving forward, looking like shining stars, that we're moving forward in truth and love. And I'm going to hide that it's really all about me. And I turn my back to taking that cup of love to get over my regrets about the past relationships that haven't worked out. So let's get in a relationship where we're both all about ourselves. It's all about looking like a shining star in the world. Let's create this illusion that everything's wonderful. And let's maybe make our life all about the image and the status and the money and the materialism, because we both have mental conflict about opening up, about getting out of our more worldly view of life, and growing and maturing ourselves. Let's make our life all about the world and money and materialism and greed and indulgence. Perfect. And I think it'll cause this person a lot of mental conflict because now they might get in a relationship with someone who isn't very patient, isn't very balanced, might have a lot of mental conflict, maybe turns their back on being loving and warm and giving and nurturing, who maybe holds back from them. But I guess if it looks like their dreams have come into reality and they have it all, this person's going to have to decide if all of that is worth it. Or if they are going to quit aligning with their egoic view of life and their materialistic view of life and listen to their intuition that they should move away from that person and grow up and mature themselves and put an end to being focused on the relationships of the past that didn't work out, get more balanced within themselves, and start putting in some work and effort to gain some insight and understanding about why they didn't pick love before. And then go find the people in the world that maybe they could work with who are loving. But for some of you you were in relationships with people who were prideful, egotistical, bossy, and controlling, needless, there's some lessons in life they haven't learned, and it takes time to learn those lessons. So I don't think, you could die before those people learn those lessons and are ready to do that. And some people never do that. I think you need to find some people who are more on the same page as you, and maybe some of the people in your life that you didn't get in a relationship when you had lessons learned, and you could have gotten in a relationship with some shadowy people who you always viewed as loving and more balanced and nurturing and warm, but you weren't used to being in a relationship with people like that, so you could have had some difficult lessons to learn, is to go find the people in the world who you always did think were loving and nurturing people, because that's really maybe where you're at. And these other people have a lot of lessons to learn in life. So there you go, Aquarius energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.